Hey guys, welcome back to The Poor Investor. So, as you have known, that the last 6 winners I have already picked, they all received it. Actually, there's still one person who I'm waiting for and they haven't gotten back to me. But remember, stay with me on this channel, on this video, comment, subscribe, and do all that stuff because I will be picking another winner from my Flex Pool video that I did maybe 2 days ago. But today, I want to go over this Twitter recording that I listened to like 3 times, and it's like 4 hours long, and Gene was on it and he gave some hints as to where this whole crypto NFT stuff can take us. And I want to, bring that to your attention because that's basically what I'm here to do. Reviewing this stuff, I'm analyzing it, I'm checking it out to see if it's worth staying in this project. Even though I've said that I'm going to be staying for the next 5 years, but even though now you have to minus the 1.5 years, maybe almost 2 years now. So I still have 3 more years with Chia. So, that's still some significant commitment. But today's price, $44.61. Stay with me, guys. I will be picking another winner. The price has dropped a little bit. We thought that it was going to almost hit up to $50, but it didn't. But it's okay. But check this out. Net space 20.9. All right, so it's pretty static. But the node count has been jumping up. So what does that mean? What does that tell me? It tells me that either there's a lot of people jumping on, installing the node, and it has to be full nodes from my understanding for it to show here, not just wallets, okay? So full nodes, and possibly people are plotting. Or possibly they're turning on the full nodes and they're having issues with plotting. Or they're preparing themselves to do GPU plotting, or they're waiting for that. My thoughts are, because the node count has been going up, but the net space hasn't really gone up to, to justify that huge difference. We're talking about like almost maybe like 5,000-6,000-ish nodes jumping on, but the net space hasn't taken a significant increase. So it seems like people are just installing the application, maybe just getting a feel for it. Now, these are numbers I haven't trend, meaning I haven't paid attention to it. So let's go. This is the last 6 hours, right? So let's go in the last 7 days. If we do that, now the number doesn't reflect it either, but the last 7 days, let's go to the last 6 months and we hit refresh. You know what? Honestly, I think this thing doesn't work properly. Like, you see how it just craps out? So it's like either you select the right day or it doesn't really go back in time properly. I don't think it works properly, because if we went back to 2 years ago, it should really be at like, I don't know how many petabytes. It shouldn't, I mean, how many nodes? It shouldn't be 125,000. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, I think that's a broken feature on this website. But updated news, grants. So who is Chia supporting? And you can see the list here. I learned about this. There are 12 other projects that supposedly, in grants, winners, I'm assuming they're getting like financial compensation to keep the project alive. So here you see the Evergreen Miner and the Dexy Space and Gobi. Is that how you say it? Gobi? Hash Green. Hash Green has been here. They have been here as well, as far as me interviewing them, and they're definitely a great team. So that's that. Since you guys are already here, and I said I was going to pick a winner from the Flex Farmer, let's do it right now because this is so random, right? Pick a winner, and we have Adam. Adam, reach out to me and you would get your XCH. Thank you, guys. Please remember to hit that like and comment. Also subscribe, because I still will be picking more winners. And if you don't believe me, go to my Discord. Ask them if they receive XCH. All right, guys. Main topic of this video is listening to Gene and a couple of things that he said. Look, check this out. This, where I'm playing this, is at 4 hours and 19 minutes. If you guys can sit through this entire recording of 4 hours plus, more props to you. I did it 3 times. All right, let's listen in.
Go. Apple stock is a digital asset that does not need physical form in any way. It does need some additional characteristics that most blockchains haven't been able to do, but we can, because, as a shareholder, if you had your keys stolen from you, you want to be able to go back to Apple and go, I want my fucking shares back. And as long as you do what you've always done, which is post a bond, and Apple does whatever investigation needs to do to realize that, yeah, you probably did get your stolen stuff from it, cancels the ones that got stolen and hands you back new ones. And now you're back in your voting rights position and your dividend position and everything else. So there's a whole bunch of things that actually fall in that category. Like, people talk about, oh, I want the title of my house to be on an NFT. No, you don't. You want the title research from the last transaction to be an NFT that proves that this is the PDF that was the title research from the last transaction.
So basically, to validate that the transaction is legitimate and is accurate, not the title of the house itself. That's from my
And
understanding.
you really want that NFT. So there's a whole host of things that have no reason to not be digitally native, like stocks, bonds, certain titles. If you own a high-end bicycle, and I mean pedal bicycle, having a title from the manufacturer would be really useful because law enforcement the world around would be able to realize if you had that NFT and you don't have the bike and somebody else has the bike, that's yours. And then a buyer of that high-end bicycle can never buy a bike without getting the NFT too. These are the kinds of things you can do natively on blockchain for real world use cases that make real money. Like,
Now, I don't know why he went specific to the pedal bike, but I think any type of thing that has a title, where it's a car or a boat or a motorcycle, I think that all usually is the same. But unless he's referring to something that doesn't have a title aspect of it, which is referring to pedal bikes, meaning if you buy a pedal bike, there's no way that you can't insure it. There's no claim of ownership. If someone steals it from you, you can't prove that you own that bike. And even if you had the serial number, that doesn't mean anything. You could have just copied it from somewhere. There's no legitimate way of keeping track of certain purchases, such as a pedal bike, in my opinion. I mean, I guess the more higher end ones, I guess you can buy insurance, but it's not specific to the bicycle. It's more like a homeowner's insurance. If someone breaks in and steal your stuff, you can claim that insurance.
you're going to see used car and new car loan servicing on blockchains for a whole host of reasons, which include that there's no reason the loan holder needs a physical anything because the people who actually service the loan will take in the checks and turn it into money and spend it over to a stable coin and pay out using much better tools all the loan holders directly.
That's actually a really good improvement on the real estate on the blockchain idea, in that, like you said, you don't want your ownership to be something where if you lose the private keys, then you no longer can prove that it's your house. So this is more passive, that
Yep.
it's, if it hasn't been updated, then the last record is the correct record. But I guess overarching all of this, I guess another way for me to say what I'm saying is, where there is currently a authority that dictates who the ownership is, whether it's like a government body or like the stock market, or what, like whatever that authoritative body is that can dictate who the owner is, you need that entity to agree to be utilizing those blockchain records. Otherwise, ultimately, it'll just go to court, and the person who has the regular record, it'll just overthrow whatever the blockchain says. Do you agree with that?
I do, but so that means that you need a different primitive. In other words, NFTs are wrong and asset tokens are wrong. You actually want issuer, redemptive, and reissuable assets because you want to have a lot of confidence as the holder of something that this is actually delegated authority from the issuer, but you need an issuer to be able to respond to a court order correctly. And by the way, this is doable. When I said you don't really want your house title in an NFT, it's not exactly right long term, because one of the things that would be great is to separate your house between ownership and occupancy. So imagine a world where your local title entity, which is probably your county in the United States, retracts on these types of issuer fungible, but fungible for no one else other than transferee, a title. But that title could delegate certain types of NFTs. So you could rent your house and therefore transfer the NFT for occupancy to your house to someone that would have a time lock, which is the length of the lease, that for the 30 days after the lease expires, the occupancy token has two signatories, the owner and the occupant. Because we've seen this happen in the United States where somebody goes on vacation, somebody breaks into their house, writes themselves a lease that looks good enough as a forgery. They come home, they call the cops, and they say, get these squatters out. And the cops look at the forged documents and they can't tell, no digital signature. They might not be legitimate. And they're like, look, it's a civil problem. Good luck. We can fix that. We can make your digital signature have a real traceability back to the original.
So guys, I'm going to end there right there. So you heard it firsthand, what the capabilities or what the intentions are with NFTs and going into crypto, what possibly this can do. But he didn't really say specifically for Chia, but it almost sounded like he's giving hints as to what direction Chia may take this whole NFT stuff, and he gave a great example. And I thought that, you know, the squatter thing, you know, people squatting in your house, and that, you know, if they leased it because they were renting there and they decided to want to stay longer, but the NFT that was granted to them expired because the lease expired, it should go back to the owners of whoever issued it, right? And of course, there's a lot more details, and this is just all baby steps. It's all beginning right now. And I thought that was a great segment into explaining more clarity into what NFTs can do in the future, because it's a digital signature opposed to making monkey, dogs, cats, pictures on JPEGs and swapping them around. All right. I want to thank you guys for being here. Please remember to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I picked my winner, and I'll always be picking another winner from this video as well. So now I'll see you guys again really soon. Bye.